It is the best of times, and it's the worst of times for those who keep watch on the time. Over this past weekend, we sprung forward an hour to jump into daylight saving time, something we've done as a country since 1966's Uniform Time Act. The best of times because so many love these later sunsets. Worst of times because of the hate we all seem to adjusting to those morning alarms those first few days, especially the first week or so. It's brutal for a lot of us, which is why in a number of states, there's been a big push, contrary to the big barbecue lobby, to make standard time the year-round standard. Idaho, no exception. Today, House Bill 584 would put Idaho in the small group of states exempt from making the twice-yearly switch. For years, those in favor have pointed to the medical concerns with the disruption of our circadian rhythms. Those opposed, they're not buying it.
Daylight savings time has been opposed by the American Medical Association, the National Safety Council, and the American Academy for Sleep Medicine. It is unhealthy. It causes accidents. It causes heart issues. It causes many, many medical issues.
Okay, let's just think about that logically. Is that based on the fact that they're sleeping? That they lose an hour of sleep? Because if that be the case, that would purport to say that we all get exactly 8 hours of sleep a day. Nobody ever stays up late to get anything done. Nobody ever travels. Because think about it, if you're flying on an airplane flight and you go to a different time zone, you lost your sleep also. So nobody's going to fly anymore because we might lose an hour of sleep. That's what this is saying.
Representative Ehart's passionate about this. All right, let's put her choice of an example aside for a moment. She may be onto something, though, with this heart issue stuff. Representative Alfieri, well, he's correct. The American Medical Association, the American Heart Association, and the American Academy of Sleep Medicine, they're all opposed to springing forward this time of year because of the damage it apparently does to our hearts and, of course, those increase in car crashes. This is based on studies that have been done years ago. But there's a more recent study that may back up Ehart's enthusiasm. The Mayo Clinic released a study just last month based on a 5-year study of more than 36 million Americans, and they found minimal effect on heart health in the weeks surrounding the switch to daylight saving time, like 74,000 or so. But Idaho representatives, well, they passed it over to the Senate, this bill, 43-26. So does that mean if the Senate gives it the green light, well, Idaho will no longer observe daylight saving time? It could be that easy since federal law allows states to opt out. You can see Hawaii and Arizona. But this bill would only go into effect if 2 of our neighboring states do the same thing. Montana, Wyoming, they tried last year and failed. Utah failed in 2022. Washington and Oregon have efforts this year, but Oregon's, well, it stalled in the House last week. Now it's up to the Senate side of the Idaho State House to see if, well, our version will eventually see the light of day.